is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Joe Schad, baby. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Schad Joe. There he is. Joe, you don't have a top. Did they shave off the top of your head or something? What's going on there? There we go. There we go. There's the adjustments. I like it. There we go. Now we've got the whole look there. How you feeling, bud? How cold is it up there?
Could always be worse, Big O. A little rain this morning, but we'll get up to 50 or even over 50, so I'll take it.
Oh, that's good. Oh, dude, that's great football weather, actually. It's not – I mean, it's bad for us wussies because we would hit each other in the 50s and we would be, ow, all that in South Florida. But for big, tough guys like them, 50s keeps them fresh, man. They're not all, all sweaty and stuff like that, so it's good stuff. 50s is a good thing. All right, Joe. Talk to us a little bit about the whole Watson situation now. Reports are saying it looks like Houston's going to stay with the player, which really is no surprise here. Really, to trade for a guy with all these issues still pending makes no sense whatsoever. What have you heard overall about the status of this trade?
Yeah, I mean, there were some interesting reports this morning. First, ESPN's Adam Schefter says that the Texans are willing to hold on to Deshaun Watson, which is no surprise if they don't get what they want. As badly as they'd like to move on from the player, I would suppose they would be willing to hold on to him and trade him in the offseason. But then, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport says that the Dolphins continue to have discussions with the Texans and that both sides are still open to a trade. Well, that's not surprising either. If for some reason circumstances change, the Texans feel that the Dolphins' offer is satisfactory. The Dolphins gain some sort of increased comfort level with Watson's legal situation, which does seem unrealistic. I mean, we're now, two days away from the trading deadline. So if you're asking my opinion, my gut feeling, my educated opinion, it's that the trade is less likely to occur than to occur, but not completely. I have not been told that it's completely impossible.
Your thoughts? I thought Dave Hyde had an excellent article today talking about it, and I've talked about it on my show all week. That personally for me, I think Stephen Ross has used terrible judgment in just allowing his team to be associated in these talks with all of this pending. I think it's a terrible look. And in a week where the Panthers had to fire their coach because he was part of a cover-up of a sexual assault, it's just a terrible look for the Miami Dolphins. Your thoughts on that?
Well, my colleague Cal Habib also wrote a story linking the Quenville situation to the Watson situation. And it was an interesting column, although I think every situation is different. And I don't necessarily think that the Dolphins should discontinue their interest in Deshaun Watson because of what happened to a Blackhawks player 11 years ago. I think they need to make their own decision and need to do their own research. They need to do their own investigating. As for why the Dolphins would allow to continue to be associated with Watson, even if they're not comfortable pulling the trigger before Tuesday's trading deadline, let's just use some logic and common sense here. Let's suppose that the Dolphins love the scenario that Watson is not traded and that he stays on the Texans roster. Well, this is a good thing, right? First, you get to see Tua Tagovailoa play the remainder of the season, see if he makes the kind of improvements that most folks might not expect, maybe have to make the trade for the guy. And also, by not putting out through national or local media that at this time they're removing themselves from the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, they are not offending Deshaun Watson, which could then damper the current status, which is that the only team Watson has approved the trade to is Miami. So if you think you might be interested in acquiring Watson at some point, why would you want to put out that you're not interested in acquiring him now? If anything, that could change the dynamics and make Watson less appealed to joining Miami.
Yeah, I just I just find it dirty that you're catering to the guy when he could be guilty. That would be, I don't know. It just
He's that
seems.
good. He's that good. He's that good, though. I mean, he's the second highest passer rating of any quarterback in NFL history. And 80% of
No,
winning in this league is having the best quarterback. So
I
it's important to
I
have a
know.
good coach. It's important to have a good GM and left tackle and edge rusher. But the teams that win in this league have premier quarterback play. The fact that the Dolphins have removed themselves from this publicly or privately tells you they're not sure if Tua can be that guy.
No, that no. Actually, I disagree with you there. They're sure he's not that guy. They're convinced he's not that guy. It's over for Tua in Miami. I mean that's clear. If you continue these negotiations, he's nothing but Ryan Fitzpatrick, just younger. All he is a bridge to Watson at this point. That ship has sailed with Tua. Okay, that's for sure. That's over with
Things
Tua. And
change.
Tua
Things
and Tua
change. Things change.
actually, I don't think it should change. I think if I'm Tua and I'm Lee Steinberg, I'm out of here the first chance I get. So either way, the Dolphins are going to pay the price. If he develops like Breeze did late, then all of a sudden he's going to turn around and give them the finger and say, "Nah, I'm not interested. I'm out of here. You guys are idiots. You don't know how to handle a quarterback. You don't know how to bring along a quarterback." They've ruined this relationship already. I mean, there's no reason for Tua to ever want to play for Brian Flores ever again. Don't you think?
No, I disagree with that. I think that he always wanted to play in Miami and that almost any situation is salvageable. You see it all the time where, hockey players hate each other's guts. They beat each other up on the ice. And then once they became teammates, you know what I mean? All
Yeah,
bygones is bygones. Water. What I'm saying is in sports, the concept of water under the bridge is all too familiar.
yeah, and I wish we would stop using that BS about he wanted to play here. He got drafted here, Joe. If he got drafted for the Bucks, he would have wanted to play for them. And if he got drafted for Green Bay, or if he
No,
got
he
drafted in
campaigned to
Carolina,
play
he
in
would have
Miami.
wanted to play wherever
Big up.
they drafted him. He's not that guy. He's going to say all the right
No,
things every single
he,
time.
he campaigned in the same way Eli Manning and John Elway once said they weren't going to play for the team that picked them. If they did pick them, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Tua went
yeah.
the other way. He campaigned to play for Miami. It was he and his family and his agency's wish. He like LeVar Ball would say, spoke it into existence.
Yeah. I think they kind of knew that Miami was the first team that would pick him, so that's why they went that way because they knew they weren't going to go in the earlier picks. I don't know, man. That part, I just By the way, how'd you think
Well,
Flo
today is
handled?
fascinating. Yeah,
Huh?
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to today, but
No. You want to ask me about the press conference? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I wasn't
how,
there on Friday. I did watch the press conference. I know a lot of people are very excited about the fact that Brian Flores was pressed, and that's fine. I
he
have
should be
no
pressed.
issue.
I'm glad they did. I'm glad they
Well,
pressed
I'm
him.
saying I have no issue with Brian Flores being pressed. I think that there's a chance that if at some point Tua is not the quarterback for the 2021 season, that he would say, "You guys misinterpreted what I meant. You guys went too far with saying that I said he's my quarterback for 2021." You know what I mean? With that
Right.
whole sort of part about mitigating factors such as injury, because it seemed like he was about to say, well, anything could happen, anything could change.
Right.
And
Right.
then one of the reporters said, well, like injury? And he said, yeah, like injury. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, look, we are not beholden to any comments. The Cardinals once said Josh Rosen is our guy. What did that mean? Nothing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So,
I'm glad because
yeah,
it was a
I
moment.
think
It was a moment that was needed. I'm sorry,
I
because
guess. If you got what you want, that's fine. I'm not sure what it means. Do you believe that barring injury Tua Tagovailoa will be the Dolphins quarterback in 2021, which means that if they were to still acquire Deshaun Watson, that they would make the choice to shelve him for the season. Do you believe that's what that means? That they would shelve Watson for the season?
Quite frankly, I think Flo already knew at that press conference on Friday that they weren't trading for Watson anyway. So he was comfortable in kind of saying, yeah, he'll be the quarterback for the rest of this season, barring, of course, an injury. Because I think they know pretty much they're not going to end up making that deal right now because there's too much crap pending and they're not going to take less, which is probably what Miami's doing right now. Miami's trying to go with the low hanging fruit. They're trying to get him for less and they're going, hey, we'll take less. Well, we'll take the risk, but we got to give you less to take the risk. If you don't, if you're taking the risk now, if he is guilty, then in the offseason, we won't be able to make this trade. This is your opportunity now. It's like two drug dealers saying, well, okay, you bring the stuff up to the Keys and I'll take it from the Keys on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm going to bring it to Panama Canal, and you got to meet me halfway there, and you can bring it back and take the responsibility. It's kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's a terrible analogy because I'm using a drug dealer, but what I'm saying is that's probably what the Dolphins are doing. They're playing with the Texans and trying to get low-hanging fruit at this point in time, and they know they're not going to get the low-hanging fruit. So Tua is your starter for the rest of the year.
It's certainly unlikely, but let's just say at 9:30 in the morning, Nick Caserio calls Chris Greer and says, you know what? My owner wants this done. 3 number ones, and that's it. Now let's do it. And Chris says, okay. Well, then what? Then they're going to have the press conference, and what are they going to say? You said that Tua was the quarterback for the rest of the year. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. You guys said I said that. You guys said I said that. Yeah, I could hear it. Dude, I have a good sense for what guys are probably going to say. I have a good sense for what guys are probably going to say. And I have a good sense for what they usually end up saying.
You're right.
So if they said, they'll say circumstances changed. This is an opportunity we didn't think was going to happen. And my guess would be, but our plan is to not play him right now. We're going to hold him on the roster as an asset. Now, do you think they would play him next Sunday?
Oh, well, I don't think they play him that quickly.
If he was eligible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'd play him that quickly, only because he does have to kind of learn the playbook a little bit, and you want to give him a little time to kind of get some practices under his belt. So I doubt you'd start him right the same week you acquire him. I think
my
you would
guess
wait.
Is they would shelve him. They would shelve him. They would say that he's going to focus on becoming a better person and handling his legal issues. Write that down. If it happens, that's what I'm going to say. That's my prediction.
How bad of a PR move will it be for the Dolphins if you acquire a guy with all of that hanging?
Well, think about what I just said. What if you say you're going to sit him out for the year and he's going to focus on becoming a better person and resolving his legal issues? Doesn't
I don't
massage some of the criticism?
Not at all. Not at all. The only thing that's going to massage is 45 touchdowns. That's the only thing that's going to massage. No,
to be
seriously,
clear, I used
if
massage,
you acquire a guy with all the yeah, I know it's a great pun, but what I'm saying is that if you acquire a guy that has all these legal issues and sits there, and now all these legal issues are there, now you carry that burden, and every update that comes with it comes tied to Miami Dolphins to it. I think it's a terrible move on your part, and you're basically telling your female fan base, yeah, we don't believe in women that accuse men of sexual assault. Women have no credibility in our eyes. I mean, it's about the most insensitive thing you can do by making this acquisition without knowing the facts and knowing the end results of these cases.
I think that Stephen Ross has probably read the criticism from Dave Hyde, Greg Cody, Hal Habib. They've probably read. He is probably aware of the fact that 80% plus of Dolphin fans would prefer not to trade for him. The Dolphins are going to make decisions based on media and public criticism, but I do think that they are aware and that plays a role in their decision, even if it's a small role. In the same way, I feel that all the tank for Tua stuff played a role in their enthusiasm about selecting him. Even if it's subconscious. Don't you?
Right.
I mean, it's just human nature. if every fan and every media member is banging the table for Tua, and all these experts like Dan Orlovsky and those guys on ESPN and NFL Network are saying Tua has the it factor, he's so much better. There's no way you can take him over Justin Herbert. You can't help but imagine that plays a factor in the decision.
All right, I'm not going to ask you for a prediction because we know
A lot to a little.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. Your thoughts on Tua's play the last 2 weeks and what he needs to do today?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of bad interceptions, Big O. We both know that, but he's also shown that he can throw the ball accurately. He can play especially good in a tempo offense. Let's see some tempo today. Let's see some, shotgun, no huddle tempo. Why not, right? I mean, you're 1-6. I mean, let's see it. Every time they go no tempo, shotgun, tempo, he seems to have success. And, he's going to lean on Gesicki and he's going to lean on Jalen Waddle. I'd like to see some deeper routes for Jalen Waddle. But, it's the Falcons and the Jaguars, so let's see what he does against the Bills. He has a chance to make a statement today. I'm not suggesting that this Deshaun Watson thing can die if he upsets the Bills and throws for 380 yards, but maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe. You never know. You never know. Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. More importantly, catch his work there at the Palm Beach Post and subscribe and support Joe and all the great journalists that do an excellent job of covering South Florida. Joe, as always, my brother, thank you, sir. Looking sharp. Safe travels. We'll see you back here next week.
See you, Big O.
You got it. There you go. The great Joe Shad. We love him. All right. It's a beautiful thing. So there you go. That is our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.